How's it going? So normally this kind of a graph in your subscriber count would be awesome. However, I'm going to show you why it's not awesome and what I did to fix it. So what you can notice that over, in recent weeks, I've started to run some various different campaigns to drive new subscribers to the list, and it is working, right? So I'm kind of step staring it up. And so what I noticed the other day was like when I checked in on stuff, whoa, I've got some big numbers happening. So what was happening? So I dug in a little bit more and really started to notice that, and I've blurred out these, but all of these is the same date. But in the email addresses themselves, very few had first names. So that kind of clued me in. That was my first clue because I always ask for the first name. Now, there's one form that doesn't ask for the first name, and that typically is the creator profile form. So I also went to my dashboard here in ConvertKit and noticed that that's what that form is. Okay, so I noticed that all of these emails down here were basically coming from this, which was not really part of my plan. So I was like, okay, all green usually means good. But then I started asking around a little bit more and was trying to figure out if anybody else was experiencing unusual activity on their creator profile. So let me dive over into my creator profile here, and you can see that I have this form here. It does not have the first name. Doesn't even, I think it doesn't even allow you to have the first name. And so I, I was just getting form submissions all over the place, right? People were coming onto my list, and I was like, oh, I was accounting for this form, but they were going straight into my sequence that is more suited for the creator network and Sparkloop. So while it was making them or incentivizing them to engage, um, I didn't know if it was bots. So what I did was I basically created a separate visual automation here. And you can see, it's May 3rd, and I just shut this off this morning. So over time, I missed about 40, 50 people. But what I did was I created this newsletter trigger just for that specific one. And then I created a double opt-in here. Okay. And then I paused them for 48 hours. So it doesn't even have for the first, but I'll show you why I've shut this off and what I've done since. And basically what I did was I created a link trigger in the email, and I'll show you the email in just a second, looking for this tag. And then if they were, then I wanted them to go follow the proper flow or just unsubscribe them. However, what I noticed was this, unfortunately. So I went into the reports, and you can see here it's like a 12% open rate. The click rate is abysmal, right? Open rate's abysmal. Only five people confirm themselves. So being that this is open rate is terrible, I basically was like, all right, I gotta stop you. Like, I'll show you the content in a minute. But basically, out of 300 sends, only five people decided that they were gonna confirm. Okay, so that's terrible, right? So I was like, okay, I don't need to keep this up and running all the time. And besides, I don't want people being added to my list if it's a bot, right? It's going to cost me money. So while I'm handling the bots by stopping them here and then unsubscribing them and not sending any more emails, I can let the incentive email do that. And the reason why I wanted to do that was because I don't want these emails being added to my account and essentially costing me money, right? Let's make the bots do the work, right? So that's what I did. I basically went in and, I copied this email verbatim, and basically like, looks like you signed up. If you really want to hear from me, click this link to confirm your email address. Let me share you a bit about what this newsletter is about. And one thing you should know about me is I don't want to create more noise. So if you're in, click this button. And if you don't click it, I'll automatically remove you. So that's what I was telling them in this email. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send that same email as the incentive email on the creator profile, which you can do now, right? So if you go into your creator profile, you sign up form. See, I had this off. This was not on. So instead, I created that, whatever that link was, I went over there. So that's my typical thank you page for opting in. And I just added that email back into the incentive email. And I just changed it at the bottom saying, if you don't click this email I won't be able to send you any other emails. And what this really does is this shows the date and time of tomorrow. It's the same time tomorrow, right? Or it actually shows the day, right? So if I preview this email, which actually I don't think I could preview it here. Let me preview it for you, just so you can kind of see. Double preview email. So you could see Saturday at 12:45, right? So it is Friday, right? It's at 8. I didn't care too much about the time zone and stuff. Yeah, there's only so much you really need to care about too much. Um, so that's it, right? So now, as you can see, there's 2 subscribers waiting here. So even I turned this off about a half an hour ago, and still there's people coming into this. And this is a good lesson for automations too, is even though that they're disabled, people are still going into it. So, you know, I've I'm going to delete this um, visual automation. But if you didn't want to delete the visual automation, but you want because you wanted it for archival purposes, I would just put like something like this: creator profile submission archive. So that this way you have like the events still, right? And then you can remove this one, right? So that's it. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Hopefully if you're running into a problem where you start to see um, a spike in subscribers and you start to do some, digging into it and you're like, hey, this appears to be bots. And I've reported this to, support, and that's fine. But I'm pretty sure that this is, support is going to do what it does. But at this point in time, I don't want to keep adding people to my list. And so that's why, I'll just enable the incentive email, get the bots out of there, not counting on my list, but also letting the other people come through. Okay. And you can start to see even in the net new subscribers, 31 people are gone. Or in the cancellations, you could start to see like, I've started having that kind of filtered through. Okay. So that's it. Hopefully this helps. And any questions, let me know.